YouTube is changing and you need to change with it. Now we know YouTube is constantly evolving, but now there are some bigger changes than ever. Because YouTube is finally shifting their platform to favor creators who are genuinely hardworking, especially if you're still on the smaller side. So good news for us. Maybe. But they're changing the way that your videos are going to get seen, how they are going to grow, and what kind of effort actually gets rewarded. So within this video, I'm going to be covering 6 of the biggest changes that are coming this year, or changes that have already been implemented. So let's start with the update that I'm most excited about, which is going to be title testing. Now I'm sure if you post on YouTube, you might have noticed that YouTube has a function where you can do A/B testing for thumbnails. So you can upload a few different thumbnails and then see which thumbnail is performing better. Now they are just introducing the same exact feature, but with titles. And think about it, your title and your thumbnail are kind of like the cover of your book or the billboard for your channel, so it is essential that we get these right. And with title testing, you can now test out a bunch of different ideas that you might not get to try out if you are sticking with just one title. But I would say this might throw a lot of creators off because they could just be inputting 3 random titles and then crossing their fingers and hoping for the best. Now, because we get 3 options, it doesn't mean that we don't need to try with these 3 title options. So I recommend being strategic, and I have 3 tips for you. First up, make sure that your titles have an emotional hook. If a title hits people's emotions, chances are it's also going to tap into that curiosity sense as well. For example, if you have a fitness channel, this could look like a title saying, "I tried this workout, so you don't have to." My second tip is going to be diving into that curiosity gap. You need a title that makes people wonder. If people don't have a question when they read your title, chances are they might not click on it, especially if they are seeking value. And then my third tip is going to be having a descriptive title. You don't want your title to be too vague to the point where people are like, okay, I have no idea what this video is about, so I'm not going to click. With a descriptive title, you want to be straightforward and clear. So it could be something like a complete beginner's guide to YouTube or complete beginner's guide to cooking. And then once you start to run these tests, through the A/B testing with titles, chances are patterns will start to emerge. You'll see maybe your audience likes the emotional driven titles or the curiosity gap titles, and whatever titles they are eating up, make sure you double down on that. And I found, according to YouTube's own Creator Inside team, that titles and thumbnails are responsible for 70% of your click-through rate. So if you master this update, it could break your growth. Now let's talk about something that is kind of flying under the radar because not everybody has this feature yet, and that is going to be voice replies, which I know it can sound kind of dangerous, but this feature allows creators to leave voice messages when they're replying to comments, which this is good because keyword creator. So not everybody can be leaving voice memos in the comment section, which is safe, but YouTube is testing this feature with a small group of people right now. So you may have access to this feature, but you may not. And it simply just lets creators respond to comments in their own videos, which would be short voice replies that are up to 30 seconds long. And even if you're not a part of the test group, you're still able to listen to these voice memos that are being left by creators. And why does this matter? Why should we care? Why is this a good update? And this is because YouTube loves engagement. When people comment and a creator replies, you're engaging with each other and you're building a sense of community that allows people to stay on the platform of YouTube. And what is YouTube's big goal? To get people to stay on their platform. But beyond the algorithm, I would say this is more about real engagement and an authentic connection with a creator. I get so excited when my favorite creators reply to my comments. Now, if they were replying with a voice memo, that would be even more exciting. It's kind of like that platform Cameo in a way where you can pay a creator to create a video and say hi to you, but this way, the creator is doing it all on their own and they're building that authentic connection and engaging with their audience. Moving on to our third new feature, I'm going to be introducing something called Hype Points. And Hype Points is a system that allows your audience to boost your videos. So when a viewer clicks that hype button, then it allows your video to climb in the algorithm and climb in something called the hype leaderboard. So this is a feature that is specifically designed for people that are already a part of YouTube's partner program. And keep in mind, something that is really specific with this is that viewers can only hype a video within the first 7 days of that video being posted. And the most important part of this system that I found is going to be the waiting system, because YouTube has built in a smaller creator bonus here. This means if hype is given to a channel that has a lower amount of subscribers, then this smaller channel is going to generate more hype points than maybe a channel with 500,000 subscribers. And it's a way to help these smaller creators compete with the larger creators, but just based on the genuine quality of their videos. So it's a way for these smaller creators to get the recognition that they deserve. But to get the most of this feature, I would say you kind of have to ask your creators to participate in it. And instead of a general call to action, you could change that call to action to introducing people about the new hype point system, because chances are they might not know what this is. And viewers on YouTube only have a limited amount of hype points that they're able to use, so it is really important that you get them to use these hype points on your channel specifically. Next up, I have another big change that is really beneficial to smaller creators. And this one I'm really excited about, because YouTube is getting rid of the old general trending pages, and they're replacing it with category-specific charts. So this is important because the old trending page was impossible to crack. And you're competing with giant music videos or movie trailers even, which is unfair because that's just a whole different genre. You're competing with global entertainment, basically. But now YouTube has specific charts for things like gaming or cooking or fashion and beauty. So that just means that your content no longer needs to be appealing to everybody. You just want to be making content for that specific audience. And this opens up what we call a quote-unquote niche virality. So in order to use these charts, I would say simply just check these charts out first and see what is going viral within your niche. And think of these new charts as your own personal research tool. Look at what is trending, look at what topics are taking off, titles and thumbnails. Pay attention to all of it. Now, I'm not saying to copy, but make sure you're adapting your content strategy to what is in demand in your niche. Next up, we've got big concern when it comes to using AI tools, and YouTube is cracking down on this a little bit. But do not get too worried, because the truth is simple. YouTube is not banning AI, but they're cracking down on low effort, repetitive content, so don't get it twisted. So YouTube is targeting content that is marked as inauthentic and repurposed. So this includes channels that are just stealing other people's clips, essentially, and making it their own with minimal changes. Or they're targeting channels that spam AI content that is only AI generated. And the goal here is to just eliminate channels that do not add any original value. And this is going to help genuine creators who are putting their heart into their content, and it's clearing out the noise, and it's making space for people that are actually putting in the work with YouTube. And I would say if you use AI, make sure you are using it to make your creativity come out more rather than using it as a shortcut. And trust me, I know it is really hard to find a balance when we have AI tools getting thrown at us left and right everywhere. Moving on to the sixth update YouTube has for us. Surprise, surprise, YouTube is implementing AI within some of their tools. So remember what I said, YouTube is not banning AI. They're all for implementing YouTube when it comes to helping genuine creators who are putting hard work into their content and letting that content get recognized. So this is where we're coming up to a new AI tool called Ask Studio. And I just read a whole article on this, and it's really exciting. So Ask Studio is going to be an AI tool that is built into YouTube Studio to help creators grow their channels, quite simply. And it's not just going to be a generic chatbot here. It's going to be designed to specifically understand your analytics, your community, your engagement, and your new overall content strategy that it's going to suggest. For example, you could ask how your last video is performing, or what your community thinks of your recent content switch. But YouTube's vision for Ask Studio is really to just make this AI tool your sidekick. It's going to be your coach that understands your content and understands how to make your content flourish. And YouTube is also pairing Ask Studio with a few different other features that are going to be coming to YouTube Studio as well. And one of those tools could be the A/B testing that we talked about earlier. We had it for thumbnails, but now we're also going to be having it for titles, which is super helpful because, again, a lot of that click-through rate is going to come through thumbnails and titles. There's also going to be a new inspiration tab of ideas where you're able to generate 9 new video ideas from just a simple prompt. But this isn't like asking ChatGPT, because your video ideas are going to be backed by analytics. And it's going to be coming from YouTube itself, so more trustworthy. There's also going to be a new collaboration tool that allows you to add up to 5 collaborators within a single video. And then this video is shown to all of the collaborators' audiences. But the revenue is also going to be remained focused on the specific creator that posts the content. So overall, I would say YouTube is utilizing AI in a very, very good way. I like how they're implementing it because they're not saying, hey, AI is going to just take over YouTube as a whole, but it is going to reward genuine creators who are putting hard work into their content and help them boost their content. All right, now that we've talked about 6 new features when it comes to YouTube, you have 2 choices. You could do your YouTube channel all with trial and error, or you could learn from somebody that has over 10 successful YouTube channels and helps other people grow their YouTube businesses as well, which is going to be my brother Matt. And he has a very helpful course when it comes to teaching people how to grow on YouTube. So if you're interested, make sure to check out the link in my description to schedule a call, or you could check out this free video right here. Basically a free course. There's a lot of information within it that I even find myself going back to. And always remember, you have a friend in the YouTube game. Me, spoiler alert. But we've got each other's backs, keep pushing, and we'll see you in the next video.